If you're a human resources representative or you're a senior leader and you're getting complaints from employees regarding a specific boss, what are some of the actions that you would advise that leaders take when that happens?
The first thing I always do is ask the person who's complaining to share the feedback, and then I help them to prepare how to share the feedback in a constructive way with the boss.
An example, of an I statement, if you're feeling like you're not getting the direction that you need on a critical project, you can go in and say, I'm not sure that I have a clear understanding of what the next steps are. Can you provide that to me? So that's just an example of using an I statement, but it does kind of take the pressure off of you blaming everything on your boss, even though you might feel that way. You don't have to pose it that way, and it does help to build that relationship. If you're getting complaints, a lot of complaints about a specific person, there are some things that you can do. And Steve, you said, let's work with the employee to give them some tips on, how to talk with the boss. But if it's bigger than that, so if it's a leadership issue, I think sometimes absolutely human resources and senior management needs to step in. There are some things that I think, though, you need to have before you step in. So you need to make sure that there's a clear understanding. So if a boss is holding a team accountable, as an example, that might be the right thing to do. And the team is, complaining about that. I'm not sure that you want to change that leadership direction. So in order to make sure, I guess the first thing for human resources and senior leadership to understand is what are the true issues. And you can do that in a number of ways. I think you could take pulse surveys. That's always, a great tool. You can do employee roundtables and ask questions to get information. You can do one-on-ones with the department as well. But I think in every case, to try to be transparent and open with everyone involved. Even the supervisor that may be getting the complaints, I think it's important to share with them that there's complaints that are happening within their department. You shouldn't necessarily share who the complaints are coming from, but I think there does need to be open dialogue and conversation related to it so that you can address the situation.
Are you getting those same types of complaints in other areas of the same boss's realm, especially if they own different parts? Because it may be that their style is different or that they're working with a different group of population and they're not communicating effectively with them. So sometimes it's understanding kind of what's going on in that boss's world as well, so that you as a leader can figure out how to coach them, because it may just be that they're not as confident maybe in that area of the business that they're taking over, and there's some things that you can do to kind of help bolster that, and that's the way that lack of confidence is coming out.
And I think as a leader, there are definitely some things that you can do if your subordinate as a boss is having complaints. We use a number of team building tools. So we love things like DISC and Myers-Briggs and a number of other personality assessments that helps teams get to know each other's default behavior style and how to work with each other. I think that's a great approach for human resources or a boss, a senior leader to do. And then finally, Steve, I'm looking at you, but you know that we've had some great success doing 360-degree feedback.
Mhm.
So that tool, is incredible to be able to anonymously have the team provide feedback to the boss and vice versa.